Okay, let's try this again. Do we have sound? It's only been a hot minute since we've, been live, so hopefully we've got sound. So let me know if this is working, guys. If everything seems like it's in working order. Good picture. Hey, good. I like good picture. That good picture is good, right? Let's adjust my camera just a little bit there. So you're not looking at my screen. I want you to look at the second one. All right. Yes, we have sound. Yes. Oh, we'll do the thing from like, the old show Heroes, the little guys like, Yata! That's what I want to do. So, hey guys, it's been just a hot Texas minute since we've done the Snark Lounge, and we're back, baby. Where is, someone says, where is Bunny? That is a good question. Bunny's in Hong Kong right now. She had some places to go, things to do there. And so she's in Hong Kong. So tonight it is just me and Skittles, who is back there. He had some wet food, so he's just kind of napping and taking it easy. So, yeah. So I don't know why my live stream, as far as the actual countdown timer, wasn't working, but it is what it is. So is it cold there? Well, kinda. It's about 9 degrees, which is what, about 40-ish something Fahrenheit. So yeah, it's a little cold. So did you guys notice I got a new can of sardines? I have 2, the breeding pair of sardines. Yes, this one was getting a little dented, so I bought another one when I was in Hong Kong recently. So I've got 2 pairs of sardines. Hey, there's Bunny. She's right there. There. She's online. So yes. So my cat bites. Skittles bites too. Not really. Like if you rub his belly enough, he bites a little bit. But let's be honest. We all bite if we have our belly rubbed too much, right? True story. So, yep. Yeah, yummy. Hey, John, how you doing, buddy? Good to have you on board. So, there we go. All right, well, guys, we're gonna talk about a number of things tonight, and maybe, just maybe, we might invite someone live into the stream. I am going to drop a link right now in the chat. If anybody wants to join, I'm not gonna invite you along right now, but I'm gonna go ahead and just drop this in the chat room. Bam, there it is. So, oh, dude, Bowen, I was pretty close, wasn't I? 9 degrees Celsius is 48.2 degrees Fahrenheit. I have mostly transitioned over to the metric system from the imperialistic system. It's kind of sad. I lived in a country for so many years that we're the only one still left doing miles, pounds, and inches. It is what it is. So, but like anything else, Americans are very proud on this. Now, the funny thing, the real scuttle, the worst kept secret in the world, is they were saying for years and years and years we were going to go metric, as they said in the U.S., and it never happened. And then guess what? We actually did. We actually did go metric. Not many people know it, but like the military, they transitioned all over to like kilograms as far as pounds. I say pounds. The amount of measurement for the fuel, and of course centimeters and meters and all that fun jazz. But the rest of the U.S. is still on the imperial system because it would cost so much to transition all of the signs that all the manufacturers still produce things in the imperialistic system. Yeah, true story. It is what it is. So good you do not meddle in politics. Dude, I hate politics. I really do. My grandpa always said politics is like buttholes. Everybody has one, and some of them stink. Yeah. So I try to avoid politics when possible. U.S. metric. Yeah. So it is what it is. So, let's see. We talked about the sardines. Now I have a question I want to just throw out to you guys. You guys, everybody remembers our good friend Scratchy, right? Remember Scratchy? So I'm going to scratch myself scratchy. True story. I actually rescued Scratchy out of a bowl of soup in Dongguan a couple of years ago, put him on a chopstick, and he's been drying ever since. But now you notice Scratchy's starting to get this funky mold on him now. So I don't know if I should actually keep Scratchy or if I should just let Scratchy die a slow and respectful death. So what do you think? Can you guys see that? He's got some, on his little the foot palm there. He's got a little, little ewe to pew going on. So I don't know. Maybe I'll keep Scratchy for a little bit longer. He used to make a really good beard scratcher, but now that he has mold on him, I don't really want to scratch my beard with him. So I don't know. We'll see. We'll see. So we're waiting for a couple of people to join the stream, and while we do, it's everybody's favorite part of the show, where I make some chocolate milk. So I'll wait for other people. Liberia and Myanmar also use imperial system. Now, you see, I did not know that. I was kind of under the opinion that U.S. was the only country left. Now, I know, like, the U.K. can... Let's get that right there. You guys can see that. Ooh, yes. The chocolate going in the cup. Yes. It's good. So that's probably enough. Nope, not enough. We need a little more. Yeah, that's good. True story. Hershey syrup. You squeeze it enough, it makes a wonderful, very wonderful sounding fart sound. True story. So anyway, but no, I did not realize that there were other countries that still use the imperial system. I know that, like, the UK, while they were probably the progenitors of the old imperial system, and that's splashing all over. Got to be careful with that. Yes, when you milk yourself, that also didn't sound good. You need to be careful not to get milk all over. Yes. I know the UK had it for a while, but they've successfully transitioned over to the metric system. But still, most people from Britain, if you talk to them, if you talk to them, they are still very familiar with what, pounds and, of course, feet and miles and all that fun jazz is. So it is one of those things. So almost got my banana wet. So that wouldn't be good at all. Anyway, so I agree. Anyway, so everybody remembers Bryn. Bryn wanted me to let you guys know he has a new video out about polishing his abandoned Buddha. Oh, wait. He's exploring himself and his Buddha. It's not right either. Oh, well, he's exploring an army of Buddhas in an abandoned Buddha factory. Okay. Sorry, Bryn. But yes. So what am I making? Hey, Bunny. I'm making some chocolate milk. And apparently I didn't bring a spoon. So anyway. Yeah. I forgot to bring a spoon. Do I have a spoon at my desk? No spoon, and I don't need Scratchy to mix this with. So, oh well. Later. So, anyway, so if you guys want to check out Bryn, he's got something going on there. So, hey, Bowen is behind. Let's invite Bowen for just a little bit. We got a bunch of stuff we're going to talk to. But hey, Mr. Bowen, how you doing, buddy?
Hey, what's up? What's up?
Hey, long time no see, my friend. How you doing?
Long time. I remember your video. I remember your video. Eating stinky tofu.
Yes. Funny story. I actually have a wonderful nostalgic feeling from smelling stinky tofu from growing up in Hong Kong, but I'd never actually tried it. And so I wanted to actually try it one day. So I tried it, and it was like one of the worst things I've ever put in my mouth.
It tastes better than it smells, actually.
I think it smells better than it tastes. But again, that's more of a nostalgic thing. When I was growing up, I'd always, smell as I was going past, different areas in Hong Kong. And so I just kind of developed, oh yeah, it reminds me, of my childhood sort of thing. But yeah, it was not a good taste. So true story.
Interesting.
So in one of your old videos, I think you showed us your daughter. Is she okay? Yes, I actually just talked to my oldest daughter, Joey, just a few hours ago. She's getting a kitty and wanted to share with me all about her kitty getting adventures. So, Bowen, where are you this evening, sir?
Hong Kong still. I mean, can't really go anywhere, can you?
Well, that's true. That's true. I was actually just in Hong Kong in July. So,
I mean, with everything going on, with this Omicron thing going on, COVID. If I were to go out of Hong Kong, come back, I would have to. Okay, like some provinces in China allow the. On a web show, YouTube.
What? There we go.
Yeah. YouTube chat.
So, someone's like, "Hey, what's going on? What's he doing?"
No, that's my mom. That's my mom.
Hi, Mom.
Yeah.
Lay ho, Mama.
Yeah, she's not listening. Apparently, she's not interested in this stuff.
There you go.
Yeah.
So yeah, when I went to Hong Kong, there was what they call the return to HK scheme. So I didn't have to have any quarantine. But coming back into Shanghai, I had to do the old 2 weeks quarantine.
Oh wait, so wait, going into Shanghai, you need to quarantine.
Yeah, coming into Shanghai from Hong Kong, I need to quarantine for 2 weeks. But when I went to Hong Kong, I didn't have to.
Okay. That's interesting because what I heard was that some places in China use the return to Hong Kong scheme and some places don't.
Yeah, I was fortunate in that I didn't have to quarantine there, but they gave us these little vials that you had to kind of spit in, and take it into this one medical center, and then they diagnose it to see if you have COVID or not. So
do you mind that? What do you think about that sound? I remember Matt Jiao from a Ningbo.
Yeah,
like me, he hated that sound.
Oh, dude, that is the worst sound in the world. The worst is when you're walking down the street and there's some little guy, and you can recognize him and they're matching striped pajamas, and you hear him, and then you're waiting for it. It's like, oh, it's coming, and they're gonna hack one on the ground, and it's like the worst ever. I hate that.
Yeah, or in China when they smoke, they smoke and do that. Oh my god.
Yep. So the worst is sometimes you'll see them they're smoking. They have another one there, and they're just like chain smoking to death. It's usually the YMI delivery drivers that are chain smoking.
Yeah,
those guys are the thing. So John says, "I am so ready for COVID." Yeah, me too, man. And
I got my
what? Milk myself?
No. I'm talking to the screen.
So,
yeah.
So, yeah, one of those things. But a lot of people they're terrible smokers, and personally, I don't smoke, I don't drink, but that's just me.
Oh, I drink on occasion. If there's a really social occasion.
Yep. Well, there we go. I'm not much of a drinker. I had a very bad experience one time with alcohol, and so I generally don't drink that much.
What do you call drinking very much?
Well, I mean, like we just had our Christmas party for work, actually, Friday night, and some people were drinking. I didn't even touch it, so I almost never drink.
Okay, but when do you drink?
Just very rare. Like, what some of Bunny's family last year, earlier this year in February, right after my mom passed away, they offered me a drink, and I had one, but I almost never do. Almost never.
Okay.
So, I doubt this will show up on camera. I'm missing a little tip of my finger right here. I don't know if anyone can actually see that. Years back, I was on my way to a New Year's Eve party, and the transmission line on the car broke, and I'm like, I can fix that, no problem. And so I got jacked up the car, took the line off the transmission, put the new line in, ran to the radiator, and got a knife and cut the line, and I snipped the tip of my finger in the process. So I just got blood just going everywhere. I'm stubborn. I'm trying to fix a car, get that line on, and by this time I'm feeling a little woozy because I lost a lot of blood, and I hadn't eaten anything, and I proceeded to go right to my New Year's Eve party, and I started drinking, and the whole night is a fog. I don't remember anything. I remember it was the drunkest I've ever been in my life. While I don't remember drinking anything, to this day, if I smell Bailey's or Kahlua, I get sick.
Really?
Yep.
Oh.
So, yeah, that was definitely what we like to call as John says, a bad experience.
Interesting.
Yes. So, true story. So, have you ever had any bad experiences, Bowen?
No.
Drinking?
I don't drink that much. I mean, I only drink on social occasions, so even then, only one or two.
So Friday, one of my coworkers, he is actually from Germany. We were at our Christmas party, so everyone's dressed nice, and he is just putting back the spritzers and the beer. Guy was so drunk he was introducing himself over and over, falling all over the place, breaking glasses, and at one point he actually felt my balls. That was weird.
Wow.
Yeah, he was pretty drunk, so we sent him home. So that's a little bit too drunk, but yep. So, well, hey, I've got some different stories I want to tell. So I am gonna invite you, my friend, to either just hang out or you can go, disconnect. It's your dealer's choice. Up to you.
All right, I'll stick around.
All right, fair enough. So Bunny is in Hong Kong tonight. I was telling that, and we had a little Christmas dinner together. So she ordered some lasagna for me, and so we had kind of like a little date night over video chat tonight. That was kind of fun. Of course, the after date experience can be a little difficult. I mean, they say the warranty in my Dell 4K monitor doesn't include some things, but I mean, I figure if they're going to advertise some high life detail, they ought to expect people to test out the limitations of your hyperrealism, right? So, anyway, moving on. See, is anyone? We got. We actually can't expect too many people in the audience. All right. Skittles had a bad thing on his back. Where is that little cat? Oh, he's sleeping. I don't want to wake him up. I was going to bring Skittles on. So Skittles was scratching himself and was got a little owie. So we took him to the vet, and we got a little bandage on him. Looked like a little schoolboy vest. Put that on him, and he seems like he's doing okay. Finally took that off him, but he was wearing that little vest for a while, and it's funny. He just hated that. But it is what it is. It is what it is. So, all right. I want to go over a couple of news stories tonight. So I'm going to share a couple of those, and I want to discuss those with you guys. So let's see if I can figure this software out. So Would love to join, but kind of busy. I'll watch it. Have fun. Okay, man. Nice to see you in the audience, Mr. Chase. So let's see. To share screen window, and let's see. Well, is this not working? It is not working. All right. There we go. That's what I was wanting to do. Let's just tuck us down in the corner here. All right. That's what I was wanting to do. All right. Just tuck us down in the corner here. I can hear a little, but when I'm going to move you out of the screen here, so because I'm getting a little feedback from you. So, all right. So, I'm actually in the process of making a 8 reasons to spend Christmas in Hong Kong. So we'll be talking more about that. I don't want to spoil that video, but I want to let you guys know that's coming. In the process of editing that. And but I want to make a video about Hong Kong without putting any politics in it. And that's always kind of a little bit of a challenge because there's so much of politics floating around about everything these days. And politics is one of those things, unless you're galvanized on this side or on this side, it's really hard to talk about it because most people aren't open-minded enough to just discuss politics without having a strong opinion, A, or a strong opinion B. And if you're just kind of neutral, you're not going to make any fans, and you could make enemies on both sides. So I generally try to avoid politics all the way around. Bowen says you have to spend 3 weeks quarantine in Hong Kong. You do, unless you go through a certain what they call a scheme. Right now, Hong Kong, I think they're allowing in 1,000 people a day through a certain thing. You have to get a COVID test before you go into Hong Kong. And then when you land in the airport, you get another COVID test, and then they sit you this little table by yourself, which is like 3 meters away. And there's like a whole bunch of tables in the airport. It's just like a giant, SAT test basically. And they will, you wait it out for about like 3 or 4 hours. And assuming you're good to go, then you can actually go home, but you need to have 3 more COVID tests over like the next couple of weeks to ensure that you're really COVID free. They call that the return to HK scheme. And they're always modifying that. When I was in Hong Kong back in July, it was the same thing, but then they had you, spit, in the cup a little bit, this little vial thing a couple of times before they would release you to go on. And so that was one of those things. So long story short, Bowen, yes, they do have 3 weeks of quarantine on some cases. In some cases, you can avoid it, I believe. So all right. Let's hey, sorry, right now it's hard to be one of those. Yes, it's true. That's true. Yeah, there's a list. And until they actually free up the quarantine guidelines and the ability to move from here to there to here to there to here and there, it's going to be like that for a while. John has a great question. How does living in Shanghai differ than Hong Kong? Other than language, there's going to be some differences. Honestly, I think the biggest difference in living in Hong Kong and in Shanghai is the availability of some things, but the biggest thing is the internet. The internet, as you know, in Hong Kong is, woohoo, it's open, it's all there. But in China, it is not. That's actually one thing I want to talk about later. One of the things I noticed hey, it is Mr. Wu Jiao himself. The Snark Lounge is back. Cool. True story. True story. So the internet is much more. Yeah, it is. It is super. Now let me ask you a question. When you said the internet is much more restricted, I assume you mean in Shanghai, right? So yeah, that's true. It's much more restricted. Hong Kong, things are gonna be a little more expensive. I noticed, for example, if you want to buy like milk tea or Coca-Cola in Shanghai, or in most places in China, you're gonna pay 3-4 RMB, something like that. Whereas you'll probably pay about double that in Hong Kong for a drink. It's not uncommon to pay 9 or 10 Hong Kong dollars for a drink generally. Yeah, it's true. In China generally, it's definitely more restricted as far as the internet. So things are a little more expensive. There's also going to be the convenience factor. Shanghai is uber convenient. Now, I can't say that for all of China, obviously. Shanghai, there's 24 million people live here, so things are super convenient. I often tell a story about one day I was cooking some eggs, and I was like, you know what? This would be great if I had some cheese to go on my eggs. So no problem. I just brought up my little app on my phone, Erlama, which means, are you hungry? And I ordered me some cheese from a nearby grocery store. My cheese arrived before my eggs were finished cooking. That is amazing. That's just, wow, super amazing. So I use AT&T international roaming, and China has no restrictions. No, well, okay. Yeah, that's true. You are correct. So, yeah, they depending on what you go through, you may be able to have no restrictions. But again, most of us here don't have AT&T international roaming, so not always the case. So, OMG, China is on Facebook. Whose business model is promote hate? What will we do? I think Facebook's thing is right now to promote people's food and unique thoughts and political ideologies that you may or may not agree with. To be honest, I used to miss Facebook a lot. And I really don't miss Facebook much more anymore, And it's not that I don't appreciate a bunch of friends I have on there. It's just that it seems like I get like the same 12 or 14 friends on Facebook. They're always sharing the same things over and over again. And one guy is sharing right now all the Star Wars socks he has. Ooh, Star Wars socks. That's interesting. So, yes. How do I get that? I don't know. Yeah. So if you tell us how we get the AT&T international roaming, we'd all like to know this. That's true. All right. So, speaking of internet, Microsoft search engine Bing is temporarily banned in China from making suggestions. And by temporarily banning, in other words, you can bring it up, but it's not actually, if you type a search in, it does bupkis. It's one of those things. Basically, if you want to have a search engine in China, it's Baidu or you're using a VPN. True story. Now, I don't really know why. They said a transfer has let Microsoft shut down the feature. Okay. Has let Microsoft. They let him. Yes, we invite you not to allow your thing. Yeah, it is one of those things. So, one of those things, definitely. I don't know why necessarily, and I'm not going to make this about politics. I don't really care what the political things are. All I know is, I was kind of a Google guy. I Googled everything, but it's not always convenient to bring up the VPN on your phone all the time. So I liked having Bing because I could do searches in English and not worry about things being blocked or not. But, or at least, I can bring up things without, a modicum of, things I can understand, if that makes sense. So, yes. It costs too much unless just, I assumed actually the AT&T international roaming did cost a lot. So, hey, Snarky, Too many internet restrictions. And yeah. But, here's the thing. You are going to find in every part of the world, there's going to be things you like and things you don't like. Every part of the world. And if you focus so much on what is good, or excuse me, what is bad, what I don't like, what grinds my gears, you're going to be upset for an awful long time. That's just how it works, dude. You can get upset about anything. But the fact of the matter is, true story, you can get upset about anything at all. And don't get me wrong. In my China experience, probably the internet is right at the top of things I am not fond of in China. It is what it is, Yeah, I wish I could whip out my phone anywhere, bring up Instagram, Facebook, Twitter without impunity. Sure, it's not going to happen. And we're not going to get into the whole political realm of why that is. But as long as you're aware of it, there's a lot of good things too, though. In every part of the world you go, there's going to be a lot of good. I prefer to focus on the good rather than the bad. So there it is. Master Q says international roaming can be outrageously expensive. I unintentionally blew $300 in 1 minute downloading photos in Singapore when I landed at the airport. What kind of photos were you downloading, sir? Yeah, that's true. Actually, years back when I moved back to China, I had T-Mobile international roaming on my phone. I had an old Windows phone. Why did I have that Windows phone? I don't know. And it worked fine, I could still, but it was, as you say, prohibitively expensive. So John says social media does spread a lot of misinformation and hate. It gets rather disgusting. It does. Everybody's got opinions. And unfortunately, that's the one thing about social media is everybody has the propensity to spread their own version of, whatever. It is what it is. So, yeah. I'm not really that concerned about it. Yeah, I don't really like having to use a VPN to access a lot of things. But I suppose it's a small price to pay. And there's a lot of good things in China also. So, again, you take the good, you take the bad, you take both. And there you had the facts of life. The facts of life. Some of you guys will have no idea what I'm saying. It was an old sitcom years back. Just dated myself. True story. So, all right. So we were looking at the thing. All right. The Chinese version of services informs users that it's important for people to have access to information, but also states to respect the law. You got to respect the law in every country, dude. Yep. It is not known why China has temporarily blocked the function, and it probably doesn't matter. Probably. Here's the thing. I'm not really concerned why. Yeah, it'd be nice if at least we have one English search engine working in China. That would be top trumps, definitely. But you know what? If it doesn't, it doesn't. I don't mind having to do a Baidu search occasionally. And if I really want to bring up Google or Bing, it's VPN or go home, baby. So it is what it says. All right. Yeah, not going there. Thanks. So I don't want to get political, dude. I don't like politics. I don't like politics for my own country. Come on. USA, every year we have the election. Would you like to vote for the poo-poo? Would you like to vote for the poo-poo? Which poo-poo would you like? Come on, man. We got the two-party system that nobody particularly cares for. Yeah, we have bad political stuff. All of that. I don't like politics. I really think, I honestly believe you got to be blessed by God to want to get into politics. Yeah, I'm not a political animal. All right, let's move on here. So we were talking about good old Bing. Yay. So, And somehow they mentioned LinkedIn in China, which seems like it has gone the way of the dodo. So LinkedIn is no more. So yeah, let's bring up a new topic here. I think we've preached long on. So Snarky, you don't like this in general. Politics. Nah, I'm not a political animal. And that's the thing. I know a lot of people like to talk about politics, and people get very galvanized, get very polarized when you talk about politics. And while I will admit politics is probably a necessary evil, as a matter of fact, we just had a big election in Hong Kong recently. There's a whole political kerfuffle to talk about, but I'm not really into politics. So do you need a hug or a can? Oh, I got 2 cans of sardines right here. 2 cans of sardines. But I always need a hug. So send virtual hugs. Or if you're in Shanghai, come by. I will give you a legitimate hug. True story. So I really wish I brought a spoon for my chocolate milk. I wonder if I can swirl it just a little bit without me. Okay, that was my lap's wet. That was just clever. So my wife is like, "Hey, honey, why is your lap wet?" Well, funny story. So, holy crap! Just kicked out my VPN for 15 minutes. Yeah, it happens. And you know what? It happens at the worst opportune time. It's one of those things. So, hey, Snarky, after the nope, NSL. Oh, NSL. I could go on about the NSL for a long time. I really could. Again, we all have an opinion. It's not always wholly conducive to discuss your opinion. Here's the thing. You walk into let's say you walk into a house where everybody is a Republican. You're somewhere in South Carolina, U.S., and you have your political ideology. Are you going to change anyone else's mind? No. Are you going to feel better about spouting and getting off your chest your own political journey? Maybe, but it's not going to solve anything. And the fact of the matter is, going political in China is usually akin to slitting one's own wrist. It's not always a good thing. Yes, we all have our own opinions. Yes, we all have things we like, things we don't like, things we wish were different, and things that we wish were going to change. The fact of the matter is, at the end of the day, most people want the same things in life. What do we want? Money, love, security, and French underwear. True story. So, yeah. So, I will not visit Shanghai. I will visit Xinjiang. Cool. I heard they had some wonderful lamb up there. As a matter of fact, I went to a Xinjiang restaurant recently. Just outside the Camera Mall here in Shanghai. Well, they served as a big old rack of lamb or these little lamb skewers. They're wonderful. And they've got this spice. It looks just like sand. I don't know what it is. It looks just like sand. You sprinkle it on there, and it's just like, oh, it's wonderful. True story. So, yes. Why mainland China? Sorry, not going there. No politics. So you can't have your own opinion in China. Everybody's got your own opinion. It's sharing your opinion that's not always the best thing. Don't get me wrong. Everybody can share their own opinion. I heard a story. I probably said this before. I'll say it again. Guy from China and a guy from USA, they're talking. And the guy from USA says, God darn it, I can go to Washington, D.C. I can stand outside the White House and I can say Joe Biden's an asshole. Go, Brandon. And the guy from China is like, well, you know what? We can do that too. I can go to Tiananmen Square and I can stand out right in the middle of Tiananmen Square and I too can say Joe Biden is an asshole. So sometimes, yeah, we can all have opinions. Sometimes sharing opinions is not always the best thing. Because again, you're not going to change the minds of a lot of people by sharing your opinions. And sometimes it's not wholly conducive to actually mending fences, shaking hands. It is what it is. So, do you ever buy canned eel? Now I've never bought canned eel before, but I have had eel. It's not the best, but I'm not really a big seafood fan either. That's Bunny. Seafood is one of those things. I suspect seafood tastes much better when seafood doesn't smell like seafood or taste like seafood. Yeah, it is. So, French underwear. Darn tootin'. Now there's something, French underwear. That's something we can all agree is wonderful, right? True story. So, get some missing tooth? Yeah, true story. So, I'll talk about that more later. So, you have a self-centered, well, yeah, there again, I don't want to go politics. Go to Beijing. Dude, I'd love to go to Beijing. There's beautiful things in Beijing to see. So, true story. Lead to lively discussions. Yeah. That's true. You can also get them to lively discussions by having yo mama jokes. Not always the best thing to do if you want to make friends, though. Right? Am I right? Am I right? I'm right. True story. All right. Let's get into a couple of these other topics we want to talk about tonight. All right. There was no evidence to support Nanjing massacre. How do we get on this? We're just talking about no politics. Ugh. Apparently a teacher in a vocational school here in Shanghai who said that casualty figures, the Nanjing are not supported by real data, and since she was fired, as she probably should have been. Dude, don't be talking about things that you don't know or don't understand. Okay. Dude, here's the thing. What the Japanese did, a lot of people do. I mean, they say war's hell. What a lot happening in war is hell. And we're never probably going to get the complete, unfiltered, unbiased opinion. They say that understanding is a three-edged sword, my side, your side, and probably the real side. We're probably never going to get the real side of anything as far as from anybody, as far as what happened back in certain wars. And so to go on about that from any point of view is probably bad. Now, I've actually been to the Nanjing Massacre Museum in Nanjing. And it is kind of interesting. I will admit it's one of those things you kind of leave there kind of feeling, because it kind of whoops you up. So was my question political? Was your question political? I don't know. I saw a bunch of questions. Let's say maybe. So ask it again. So yeah. So yeah, as far as the Nanjing question, why is that kind of okay? That was weird. It's not scrolling. It's weird. Okay. Let's forget that. Let's move on to hypermarket stores in China are closing at a rapid clip as consumers shift to spending online. Ain't that the truth? I think that's the truth anywhere, though. I think a lot of places these days, we have a lot of stores closing because the old brick and mortar stores, as they say, is kind of becoming a little bit of a dinosaur. Yeah. I mean, to be honest, I can't remember the last time I've been to an actual big grocery store. There's a little mom and pop shop down below us, below our apartment here in Shanghai. And I occasionally will pop in there for something. Bunny likes to tease me about this. When we were in Europe last year, right before COVID came out, we went to Paris, Venice, and Rome for our anniversary. And we popped into a train station, and I saw a Mountain Dew, and I'm like, Mountain Dew. I haven't had a Mountain Dew in so long. And it was €2. So we're talking about what, $3.50, $4 US, which is a lot for a can of soda. But man, I hadn't had one in so long. So I thought, yeah, why not? I bought it. It was great. Got back to Shanghai. Went downstairs at little mom and pop store, and guess what I found down there? Mountain Dew, 3 RMB. So that was just a portion of what I paid in Europe for it. So it's one of those things. A lot of things in China are unbelievably cheap. When we were in Rome, I found those cans of Illy coffee. You know, they're like 250 grams of coffee, and so I bought one. Bought 2 of them actually. Put in my backpack at a little grocery store in Rome. Walked all day with Bunny in Rome, just huffing and puffing, in the Colosseum with this big thing of coffee on my back. Colosseum didn't cost us anything though. They've got a law in Europe that says the disabled gets free access to any of their big tourist attractions. And so we were standing in line at the Colosseum, Bunny and I, and this big, huge black guy with a machine gun on his back. He walks up to us, "You follow me." And you do. I mean, of course. So we followed him. And he walked, started following the line, said something in Italian to the cashier, and and they hand us 2 tickets free of charge in the Coliseum, and told us it's because she's disabled. And I'm like, hang on, she's not disabled. And my wife is like, thank you, take the tickets. So we decided to test that theory out. We got to the Vatican City. We're going to go see the St. Peter's Basilica and the Sistine Chapel, and they have the whole conglomerate right together, where the Pope walks on his little red pajamas, yay. And so we got the paid archaeologist tour of St. Peter's Basilica and the Sistine Chapel and the Royal whatever Vatican Museum. It came out to like 160 euros or something like that. And they're like, oh, no, she's disabled, so that'll be free. Here you go. So that was nice. That was nice. So, but yeah, point being, brick and mortar stores are kind of going out. It's one thing. Is this stream 1 hour? You know what? I think we're just gonna let it ride however long it goes. I haven't actually been in the saddle for a while, and so why not? John says Walmart delivery here also. Yeah. I mean, that's the thing is why would you actually go out, put pants on, when you can just have something delivered to your home? So we get our veggies, groceries, and a lot of things delivered. There are a lot of things we actually go down and pick up occasionally, but for the most part, I think we have it delivered. JD delivers here. We have a online supermarket, which has a brick and mortar store also called Huma, which means the blue hippo. And all those guys, you see those guys on the little scooters, are all over Shanghai. It's a biker's town. They just deliver anywhere and everywhere. But what is this here? I know how you feel. It's about $2.50 here. When I have to buy the imported dew is in stock. Yep. So Doug, what part of the world are you in, my friend? Let me know. I'm interested to know. So you should pay Bunny for ticket evasion. Yes. So JD is the man, the myth, the legend. Captain Burbex is in the house. Yes, and I did let everybody know, by the way, about your polishing your abandoned Buddha. No, you're exploring your Buddha. Exploring yourself. What does my note say? Oh, yeah, you have the army of Buddhas in the abandoned Buddha factory. Apparently, they churn out Buddhas. Well, it's abandoned, so they're not making Buddhas anymore. So, yeah. So, Bangkok. So, there you go. That reminds me of one of those really stupid jokes, man who walked through airport sideways going to Bangkok. That was terrible. Terrible. Captain, I'm an admiral. Well, there we go. So, when I was in China, I used to buy from JD. Do you prefer Taobao? I actually prefer Taobao. Now, here's the thing. I heard like maybe, I don't know, 10, 5, whatever years ago, there's a lot of counterfeit stuff on Taobao. These days, most of the time I get things I get on Taobao are the real McCoy. So I generally don't have don't worry about that so much. Hey, Bryn, I feel like I got caught cheating. There you go. So, Burbeck's polishing his Buddha is a sight nobody wants to see. So, true story, particularly his fiance, or maybe she does. Hey, that's their journey. We're not going there. So, yes. So let's see. We mentioned Bunny is in Hong Kong. True story. Anybody remember that game, The Floor is Lava? Anybody remember that? I feel like I'm playing my own version of The Floor is Lava lately. We had to change Skittles. Skittles is my cat, by the way. He's sleeping over there, but I don't want to wake him. He looks so cute sleeping. You guys seen Skittles before. We had to change his food recently because he'd eat his food and he was promptly vomited up. It would just come out of his mouth. Speaking of which, so will you be doing on the regular with other China will you be doing on the regular with other China YouTubers like before? Yes, I definitely am. Okay, here's the deal. Right, wrong, whatever. I was doing a regular live stream before, and then my mom passed away, and it was just like somebody took my mojo. And I don't know what it is. I didn't feel like making a video for a while after that. Didn't feel like doing much of nothing after that. Yeah, we've all heard about people's parents passing. We all know what's going to happen to us at some point. But when your own mom passes and the circumstances of it, it just really kind of like deflated me like a balloon, everywhere. It is. What else? Is your tooth fixed yet? No, it is not. So yeah, it's one of those things. Anyway, so long story short, Skittles was vomiting up his cat food. We got him another cat food, but it was like the floor was playing, the whole floor is lava thing, because it was like in the morning you kind of step on the rugs to avoid the cold floor, because any apartments below the Yellow River in China doesn't automatically have heat. I mean, your air conditioner probably has heat built into it, but not the building necessarily. And so I stepped on the rugs to avoid the cold area. And sure enough, you step right on that area of cold cat vomit, and it goes right between your toes. And you're like, ah! Can't stand that. That's just one of those things. So thanks, man. I appreciate that. So get a gold one. A gold cat? Can you get gold cats? I'm not sure you can get gold cats, man. So you can dip them in gold, I guess. It is one of those things. But anyway, so long story short, we changed Skittles out to a different type of food, and we really haven't had much of a problem with that before. Although when he gets annoyed, he still will vomit. Usually he'll do it in the most conspicuous of areas. Like he jumped up and vomited right in the bed the other day. We had to change sheets. I think that really avoided Bunny. Warm cat vomit is worse, I think. No, warm isn't. Okay, let's put this in context. Stepping on any cat vomit, not fun. Stepping on cold cat vomit, I suspect is worse, because it's cold and you kind of get more of a little shock, when you step on something cold and mushy and seeps between your toes, and you're like, and you got to wash it off your foot. You got to wash it off the rug, hang the rugs out. It's a big kerfuffle. It's one of those things. So, and then of course, how do you wash it off? Do you take a shower, or do you just put your foot in the sink and kind of just, shower your foot off in the sink? And then of course your neighbors walk by, they see a foreigner with his foot in the sink, and they're thinking, is that how foreigners wash their feet? Do all foreigners put their feet in the sink? Is that a normal thing? Well, how do you wash your feet? I put mine in the sink, man. Put a little lemon joy on my feet, scrub them there with, with the pots and pans. Economy of motion, right? Am I right? It is what it is. So, vomit in your mouth is worse. Yeah. I've never experienced that, to be honest. Yep. What are the 5 most beautiful cities you visited in China? Gonna have to Shanghai. Hong Kong, obviously. Now here's the thing. I like parts of Guangzhou. Guangzhou is great, but a lot of Guangzhou I kind of find I don't know, it's just not my cup of tea per se. And I'm not really a big Shenzhen fan, to be honest. Shenzhen feels, I don't know, maybe it's changed, but I'm not a big Shenzhen fan. I really did like Hangzhou a lot. Chaozhou, beautiful. They got this bridge. It's like a half bridge on the other side. It's not meeting in the middle. And of course, the Chaozhou beef balls, as I don't have to tell you, are the best beef balls in the world. There's no other balls that I'd rather have in my mouth. So yes, absolutely. So foot. All right. Great. Mini cats get irritable bowels. Yeah, that's probably true. Probably true. So as some of you guys know from video, I had the unfortunate experience of meeting somebody's business end of an umbrella, and the bruise is gone. I actually got 2 broken ribs over that. That was not a fun experience. I was on the metro and I was going to get off, and there's 24 million people in this town, and everyone's just kind of clamoring to get off the metro all at the same time. And as I'm getting off, people they don't wait for you. These people see you as a hindrance to them getting on the train as you're getting off. And so a lot of times people kind of, give you a shoulder check or a little elbow check. It's usually the grannies, they give you a little elbow right in the in the gut to get that coveted seat or whatever else. Unfortunately, there's a lot of people at the metros, and I was getting off, some guy jabbing me with his umbrella. I'm not really sure why. I don't know if this was like a hate thing or whatever else thing, but what happened? It's one of those things. And I didn't realize how badly I was hurt at the time, but he broke a couple ribs. I went down like a sack of potatoes on the ground. And by the time I picked myself up, the metro was already gone. And a lot of people asking, well, hey, Snarky, why didn't you call the police? Well, that's the thing is, first of all, I didn't really get a good look at the guy. He was an old guy in striped pajamas. And so even if I did, call the police, what am I going to get out of it? Half a pack of ciggies and his senior citizens matching striped pajamas. Yeah. And the other thing is, a lot of times, and I don't want this to get political, but a lot of times it kind of does turn into a us versus them scenario. And so if you report this sort of thing, a lot of times it will get, it's one of those things where some people will, ask you what's going on. Did you, antagonize the guy, what else, they ask you a lot of weird questions, about, things like this, did you do anything to antagonize the guy? No, are you sure this didn't happen at home? Does your wife beat you? Yeah, she does. My little wife beats me. Any chance she can get. True story. Do you have any enemies? Well, I don't know. There was a lady that gave me full sugar on my milk tea when I asked for half sugar at the cocoa, but no. Do you engage in any unusual sexual activities? Well, what's unusual? I mean, is getting it on with 3 Sherpas, a slightly emancipated llama, and 3 pints of Ben and Jerry's Chunky Monkey considered unusual? I don't know. But, so here's the thing. A lot of times people will ask a lot of weird questions. So no, I didn't report it to police at that time. Right after it happened, Bunny and I, we went to the hospital, and I got a CT scan, a CAT scan, which was really bad, because a lot of times when you have broken ribs, I didn't realize at the time what was going on, but laying down is the worst. That's when they get pulled. They kind of pull and you're like, ugh! And I had to lay down. There was a little concave bed you lay on the CT scan. And they said, oh, yeah, everything's good. No broken bones, no ruptured organs. You're good. Go home. Be fine soon. Bye-bye. Pay your money. It was like $250 RMB for a CT scan, which is dirt cheap, by the way. Try paying that in USA. I mean, that's like $40 US. Super cheap, but there is no privacy whatsoever. Everywhere you go, they kind of pull up your shirt, they puke you, does this hurt? Yes. How about this? Yes. Yes, it does. And they keep, keep it up. But we kept on hurting after a couple weeks. So we decided to go back for another CT scan. This time we went to the International Hospital and did CT scan. They're like, yep, yeah, that's true. You definitely have a couple of broken ribs. And so they, of course, asked me all the same weird questions again and again. And they're like, afterwards, they're like, well, we need you to stay off your ribs. How does one stay off their ribs? That's kind of weird, but okay. And they actually offered me this little pink wraparound supportive device. It looks curiously like a transvestite's bra in husky boy size, but as it turns out, they didn't have one of my size anyway. So yeah, we could order one line, but at the end of the day, it's like, it's going to heal up in like, 2 to 3 months anyway. So yeah, it is one of those things, dude. You just kind of have to move on. All right, we're going to getting back into some of our news stories we were going in before. Let's see. China has a new aircraft carrier. Congratulations. Looks especially like a British one. That they are sending out. My friend Bryn Burbex, he actually explored one of these before. There was a aircraft carrier they got from Russia. They made it into a tourist attraction in Shenzhen, called it Minsk World, oddly enough. But I guess something was really unsafe on it. I think Bryn could probably give a little more insight into that. But they ended up ending in that as a tourist attraction, towed it to Ningbo, and then I guess Bryn managed to get on board and take some video. So, hey, there you go. So, but let's see. This is one I read the other day. I thought this was kind of interesting. There was a bridge, I guess, that just kind of up and tilted on its side in China. I guess 4 people died, and 8 have been injured in the part of a ramp in Hubei. It just kind of up and flipped on its side there, that part of the bridge. And I was reading online, a lot of people were making a kind of a stink about this, going on about how it's China infrastructure, bad. But here's the thing. The same thing happened not long ago, actually, in Minneapolis, where a bridge collapsed. So again, it's not that infrastructure is necessarily bad in China. It's just this sort of thing can happen. As much as we like to think we have perfected the art of infrastructure, bridges, buildings, and everything, including the modern toilets, which is wonderful. That's the only place I'd rather go poo. But, these things happen from time to time, and it's unfortunate. There's going to be little things we can't always detect, like microorganisms eating away at things, some things they didn't account for when they've made these bridges. So that's the thing I always thought is kind of unfair, is when people tend to point at one country's infrastructure where they've had a problem and they want to use that as ammunition to say this is bad. Again, I'm not saying one country is better than another, but it happens in every part of the world. So we can't look at this as any sort of litmus test. And again, infrastructure is not politics. Yeah, that's the point. True story. What is this? My cat eats everything. Yeah, mine too. Once upon a time, there used to be some places in China where you get like this cheese, and you didn't know if it was real cheese or not. And so what you could do is offer it to your cat. And if your cat ate it, then it was real. True story. All right. So we're going to move on here. Moving on. So All right. I got an invitation the other day to the China Adult Care Expo, which, as everybody knows, is where you have your adult toys. Yay. Guy I know invited me to this. I don't think I'm going to go because I don't really have a big need in my diet these days for adult toys. Nor do I know anyone that needs them. So, and to be brutally honest, this is not the sort of thing I really think that I'd want to put on my YouTube channel anyway. But I find it interesting that apparently Shanghai has an adult toys expo every year. Not really sure what you would get from that. So yeah, that is what it is. Definitely. All right. So not everybody knows that. Yeah, there you go. True story. All right. So we were talking about adult toys. My apartment here in Shanghai apparently is getting a facelift. Some of you guys know in Hong Kong, whenever they do renovation, they put up all the bamboo scaffolding. They do pretty much the same thing in Shanghai, but they use metal scaffolding, which makes these little bong, bong sounds whenever they put it up. And so they were doing this all over. They've done every building around me except mine. So I know mine's coming up soon. So we were a little bit worried about this. So Bunny and I put up this one-way film over, like a one-way mirror film over our windows, because we're going to have workmen on scaffolding right outside our windows. We don't want the worst is when you walk by and you see someone like this in your window kind of peeping in. Oh, I see. White boy is put together like we are. Yeah, that's not what you want. You really don't want that. So, but it should be kind of interesting. John's like, I would go. Well, there you go. Go. Tell me what it's like, man. I'm not really gonna go for that. So, in People's Square the other day, People's Square is one of the big areas here in Shanghai. We got a lot of museums. I would say it's downtown, but it's Shanghai. It's all downtown. And People's Square, for anybody who wonders, is this big park in the middle of Shanghai where a lot of elderly parents would go and they would set up these umbrellas. I actually did a video. You can go back on my videos and check out a video Bunny and I did of that a couple of years ago. They set up these umbrellas where they would try to set up their middle-aged kids on dates. It's basically analog Tinder. No need to swipe right. Just copy information down from grandma, and there you go. They don't allow the umbrellas. It seems like they've got rid of the umbrellas since then, but now it's all just signs. Advertising, like going here, meet, Wang Yunha. She's 160 centimeters tall, a graduate of Fudan University. She can cook amazing children and no, not cook children. That would be wrong. She can cook amazing food and give you great grandchildren or children or whatever else. And which, of course, thanks to the 3-kid policy in China now means you can have 3 little rugrats. Yahoo. But basically, yeah, it's elderly parents trying to set up their kids on dates, and they will have some picture of some girl that totally makes her not look like a Karen. I'm not really sure who goes on dates like that anyway. I mean, I'm sure there's a lot of happy middle-aged couples that have met this way, but it's not what I would do. So, yep. So what's that? I just posted a video that got 4 copyright hits. Ouch. That's a lot of copyright hits. So, yeah. Anyway, I'm going through there and I meet this guy in a purple suit. Who is like super purple, like the love child of Prince and Joker from Batman. And he tries to set me up with his 47-year-old daughter, which may have something to do with the fact that I was wearing a green hat. Yes, I picked up a green hat. This is like the greenest of green hats, by the way. And for those of you who don't know what a green hat is, or was it Dai Lu Mao Zi, I think is how you say that. It's an expression in Chinese when a woman cheats on her husband or boyfriend, and the phrase sounds similar to the word for this. So it's they wear a green hat. It basically means you're like the relative of a prostitute, effectively. I got it because it was so green that my 6th grade kids will point and laugh like medicated hyenas whenever I wear it. And so I wear it just because. But anyway, some guy was trying to set me up with his daughter, which ironically named Karen. You can't make this stuff up. And so I Polly, I was like, I'm sorry, I'm married, happily so, thank you, but no thank you. And we went on. So anyway, I'm in the middle of the People's Square Park, and I find this restaurant called the Ministry of Crab. The Ministry of Crab. I actually got a bib from them. I love this. Keep calm and crab on. Is that like the most awesome bib ever? It is. So anyway, so I go, I was just looking in there, and the maitre d there, he I'm kind of just looking in the window there, and he asked me, he's like asked me if I want to get some crabs today. Okay, no thank you. And he says, okay, let me know if you want me to give you some crabs. Okay. So thank you, but no thank you for your crabs, sir. But I found that was kind of interesting in the Ministry of Crab. So, and the most excellent of bibs, keep calm and crab on. So should I wear the keep calm and crab on bib? No. I think I need to actually tie that in a little knot there. So keep calm and crab. I should totally wear this to class one day. I think my kids they didn't think this through very well. There we go. Keep calm and crab on. Isn't that lovely? Yeah. So I'm telling you. So one of those things. Speaking of kids, as you guys know, I do teach classic literature to grades 6, 7, and 8. Is that how you do the 8? Which isn't really teaching. It's more of an object for. It's more like a corralling and force feeding literature to some proto-humans. Yeah, it is what it is. So anyway, my one of my boys, it's kind of classy. One of my boys apparently had an injury in his gentleman area the other day, and he blurts out as loud as he can that he's like, my penis hurts. Loud. And one of the girls in my class, who shall we say is a little less aware of how the world works, sort of girl, proceeds to ask me in a not so quiet voice, Mr. Jimmy, what's a penis? What can you say? What can you say in those situations? So, yeah, that was kind of unfortunate. John says, keep your pants on, prevents getting crabs. In some situations, it's probably true. So, yep. So yeah, so sometimes innocence is great, but you got to be careful how you answer these kids sometimes. So it is what it is. So, all right. This is the point I want to. If there is anyone who wants to come in for a last moment question, I'm gonna throw the link back up in here. Because we are just about ready to end. We've been going for about 90 minutes, give or take. And while there's a lot of good material that we've discussed, I want to give anyone the opportunity to pop in and possibly ask a question before we end this tonight. I do want to get y'all's feedback on Scratchy. Can you guys see Scratchy? Is that very obvious? I can't tell how clear that is on the screen. Scratchy has got some mold. I don't know if I can remove the mold off Scratchy or if I should consider retiring Scratchy or not. I've had Scratchy now for about 5 years. So, and this is the first time that Scratchy's had mold on him. So I don't know if I should consider getting rid of Scratchy or if I should keep Scratchy. So I'd be curious as far as y'all's input on that. I like a cup of coffee just big enough that I can swim laps in it. So that way, when the wife asks me, she says, "Oh, how much coffee did you have today?" Just 1 cup. Just one. So, and yes, I did lose a tooth also recently. So, oops. Need to actually go get that fixed. So, hey, look who it is. It's Lucy. How you doing, Lucy? Long time no see. So, Lucio just asking about Scratchy. What do you think? Should I retire Scratchy? He's getting a little mold growing on him. I'm kind of curious. So he's got this wonderful patina on him, and he's just been, petrified enough where he makes a very good beard scratcher. Although occasionally Skittles tries to get a hold of him, but I don't know if I should keep him or not. So half awake. Which half? Top half, bottom half, left half, right half? Or are we talking about the inside? Like your stomach's awake, but your lungs aren't? That's not good, right? You kind of need to breathe, I imagine. That's how that works, right? So it is what it is. So just make sure to keep calm and crab on. So we're going to keep this going for another 6 minutes. Got the Chinese number thing going on here. 6 in China looks like this, which is kind of like our hang loose. It is what it is. So if anybody wanted to pop in and say howdy, that's what the link is for. It's in the chat right now. And if not, well, Jamaica Funk, the man, the myth, the legend. So Jamaica Funk, Gene, I still want to finish that video that you and I made, but for whatever reason, the audio didn't turn up right. So I wanted you to record a little audio and send to me over WeChat so I could actually just, finish that up. So let's get together on WeChat and see if we can get us some audio. We can kind of finish that video up, and I want to publish that online and give you a big fat link on that, my friend. So, yeah. So Gene, for those of you who don't know, Jamaica Funk is literally my neighbor in Hangzhou. I say literally, he's probably 80 kilometers away from me. And he is a huge music guy. Lucy says salt might kill the mold. Really? Now I'm curious. I wonder if I could try that. There we go. So one more week of finals. Yeah, me too, buddy. This next week, we're kind of getting into it. We've got Christmas show coming up, followed by finals and our last summative task before the end of the semester. And then it's we've got a month break. That's one nice thing about China, my friends. We got summer break and we have New Year's break. In truth, we probably still get a little less time off than some of our teacher counterparts in other parts of the world. But, I like breaking this up a little bit. Makes it feel a little more, I don't know, a much needed respite, I think. So, yeah. Finals is what it is. So, I know, man, now that break is coming up. So when are we going to hear about the snake bite? Okay. Here's the deal. Not sure how much to go back on this. Mom passed away, and as I am carrying the urn to bury her, I got bit by a snake. I actually have a, let me see if I can balance without falling. So you guys see, I've got a wonderful scar right here on my leg. It actually turned a funky black and kind of soupy when I get bit by the snake. Now I'm told it was mostly a dry bite, most likely poisonous, but it was not injecting some. And so I'm very lucky to be alive, as it were. So and unfortunately, it happened about the same time I had a surgery here in Shanghai, right beforehand. So that kind of had some complications. Break. But we can't go anywhere with this latest outbreak. Yeah, they've also been telling us as well that we are not going to be, or they would prefer us not to leave Shanghai during the break. And it is what it is. Bunny's not here in Shanghai, so it's not like I'd be going much of any place anyway. But it would be nice if my better half was here. So that blows. Yeah, it does. It really does. But yeah, it is what it is. And dude, I'm so looking forward to this whole COVID thing to be gone. I hear a lot of people keep comparing COVID to the Spanish flu from the early 1900s. And I guess that was one of those same things that people expected that to be done and over quick. As a matter of fact, much like in some parts of the USA, I guess there were some people celebrating the end of the Spanish flu, and they actually had a resurgence of it when a lot of people got together. So we keep on having these resurgences. We had different variants. We had the beta, then the delta, now the Omicron, and I imagine I'm going to keep on going through all the Greek numerals. And don't quote me, but what I suspect is going to end up happening is the COVID is probably going to get to that point where it just kind of bakes down and it's there, but it'll kind of be like the common flu, and it won't be that big a deal in the next 3 or 4 years. Knock on wood, I'm hoping. But yeah, it is what it is. So no one out of Shanghai, no one getting in. Crazy. New York is shit. Really? I had not heard that. I did hear that USA is getting pretty close to getting 1 million deaths, cumulative over COVID. It's terrible. I mean, it's really terrible. I really hate the fact that this has been going as long as it has. I hate the fact that whenever you discuss this, that people try to inject politics in this. And I hate politics. I really do. I could probably be a much bigger channel if I was into politics a lot more. I just don't like to get political. I'm one of those crazy people who likes to be positive when possible. I'm here in the world epicenter of the Omicron. Where is that, Master Q? Where is that? So be interested to know where that is. Many vaccinated, unvaccinated catching it, but no one is really getting that sick. I'm actually vaccinated. My wife is too. I got the one here in China. They had two different versions in China. They had the Sinovac and Sinopharm, and I got the latter of the two. Bunny actually got the one in Hong Kong, which is the German one. And her mom just got that one actually today. She got her second jab today. But I know a lot of people are getting that the jab, and some people are just completely making this political. Johannes Jayberg, South Africa. Bunny was actually down not too far from you in Cape Town year before last. She went down there and she was telling me about the Table Mountains, and I guess there's this one wonderful area where people will just see where the two oceans like literally meet up outside Cape Town. This would be pretty beautiful. love to see that. So we were just asked if we wanted a third vaccine. Yeah, they're asking a lot of people if they want to get the third jab. I don't completely understand the science behind vaccinations, and that's fine. I'm not a scientist. I don't have to. But as I understand it, the COVID vaccine is not one of those vaccines like polio or smallpox that lasts you the rest of your life. I guess it will actually last you for a little while because, again, COVID just kind of just, here it is, surprise. It's like unwedded and we get guests at the door. Surprise. We are here to spend the night and the rest of our lives on your couch. Congratulations. Do you have money? So, yeah, it's one of those things. So they're doing the best they can. But I'm not one of those guys that's just going to be like completely not vaccinated. I mean, that's what we have science for, right? I need to get my third Pfizer. So, otherwise known as the folks who gives you the happy blue pill. I actually read something online. I was sharing my eighth graders didn't get this. They were saying that Grandpa had, speaking of the blue pill and Pfizer, they said Grandpa had an addiction to Viagra. Yeah, it hit my grandma was taking it the hardest. That was terrible, wasn't it? Really terrible. So it sounds more like a flu vaccine at this point. Yeah, it kind of does. I was talking to some of my buddies back in America, and they're all going, it's my right not to, wear a mask in public. And, they have a no mask mandate. And are you stupid? Really? And they keep on going, well, the COVID virus is, so small that it goes right through the mask, and okay, again, I don't want to debate this, but here's the thing, okay? Even if a mask helps, let's say it only helps 2%, isn't that 2% worth it? Now, I know a lot of people, they're like, well, I don't like to wear a mask. Nobody likes to wear a mask. Nobody does. Just wear it, man. It's one of those things. Look, the solution ain't perfect. Right now, we're doing the best we can. We all got socked in the jaw with this. We weren't expecting it. It just happened. But you know what? We can whine and cry about our rights, or we can all just do what we need to do to get through this. If we just got through it, great. I'm all for that. So, lol. Speaking of politics, what? Now, Gene, I'm going to need you to kind of, if you even want to, come on board and explain this. Let me drop that link in the chat again here. I would love to hear your opinion on that. But are you saying they're not going to be putting Spider-Man in the theaters? Is that what you're saying? I think that's what you're saying. And I've been holding out for Spider-Man for a while. So John says, mostly no mask here. People are back to normal routine. That's kind of the deal here in Shanghai as well. A lot of times are no Spider-Man. No. I was really looking forward to that. Kind of like Shang-Chi. I had to actually download and watch that because I guess which is weird because Shang-Chi a lot of it was in Mandarin, but they didn't have that. And my understanding was there's like a 2-second scene with a number that was not very favorable in China, and so they banned it for that reason. I don't know that for a fact. That's just what I've heard. Like anything else, there's reasons for different things. You may not like the reasons, you may not agree with the reasons, but reasons are what they are. So, but no Spider-Man in China. Ugh. Bummer. So, you know what, Gene? If you want to follow the link, come on in. I'd love to hear your point of view. So, you are more than welcome anytime on the stream, my friend. I would love to hear what you have to say about this Spider-Man or lack thereof. So, I already watched. Oh, you suck. I've really been looking forward to that. I was a huge comic book nerd growing up. My dad used to buy me as many comic books as I could read when I was a kid, and I really support that. A lot of times people, they don't want their kids reading comic books. They think, oh, they're too violent. Here's the thing. Okay, number one, they're not too violent. Number two, we have the same guidelines on comic books as we do other commercial books and arts and everything else. There are people who go through these things and moderate them, so it's not going to be too harsh. They're designed for kids. And also, if you have the option to get your kid into something reading, then you do it. Okay. My job as an educator is to foster what we call a lifetime long love of reading. And if you can do that through any medium, then I say you do it. You do it. Okay. You know what? Half the time, a lot of kids are not going to want to pick up a big book. Some kids do. I got these little girls that are all reading through every single Harry Potter book they can get their hands on, ones that are about as thick as my coffee mug here, some of them. And that's great. But not all kids are going to do that. So you know what? If they're into comic books, you buy them a comic book. You buy them another, because guess what? They're reading. And kids who are reading are going to excel. You do it. I'm going to get off my soapbox in a minute here, but yeah, it's one of those things. I just wish more people would get their kids involved in reading than they do. I find that sometimes people have this idea, almost like a bad image in their head of kids reading comic books. I read comic books. I turned out okay. But, yeah, so Dad used to have me reading a lot of comic books growing up. And so I really got into a lot of the characters. So when some of the new Marvel movies come out, I was really excited about this. Now, true enough, you're going to find any movie you watch that's based on a book, or any movie that's based on a comic book, is not going to be exactly as you envisioned it, because you kind of build out these ideas in your head of what different characters are going to look like, what they're going to sound like, and what their mannerisms are going to be. But when you watch it on the big screen, you're watching someone else's ideas of what they are, and so you're always going to be kind of, in some ways, let down, and maybe not in other ways. For the most part, I've enjoyed a lot of the Marvel movies for this reason. So you're getting a 404 on that link. Hang on, let me try again. Maybe I cut some. Oh, ha. I did something stupid. Sorry. Let me try that again. I actually put a 3 on the end of that because you know what? I hit the enter and I hit the 3 on the keyboard at the same time. My fault. Sorry. So, yeah. Anyway. My bad. But yeah, so that's like we're right now in my 6th grade literature class. We're reading The Old Man and the Sea by Ernest Hemingway, which, by the way, was one of my favorite 20th century authors, and also undoubtedly one of the worst humans ever. Dude was a prolific liar, lied about his exploits in the First and Second World War, was engaged 5 times, married 4 times, had numerous girlfriends on the side. Absolutely was not a good human, but great author. And then one of these things is, when you read these books, you have an idea. The movie kind of plays out in your head, and when you see it on the big screen, it's undoubtedly different than you envisioned it. Same thing with comic book movies. So I've probably preached long and entirely too hard on that. Yeah. So Gene may or may not be joining us here. We'll definitely want to find out. Yeah. So, hey, that was iconic timing. There he is, the man, the myth, the legend. It is Professor Funk.
That thing? What was that thing you did? What, like that?
The number 6, or Hang Loose. Yes.
Good to see you, man.
Yeah, it's always good to see you. How you doing?
I'm okay, man. I got my computers around here, so I might be lagging a little bit, but yeah, it's great to see you. It's been a little busy doing my finals, getting ready to wrap up this whole week here.
Yeah, I know that feeling well. I know that feeling.
Yeah, man. I found out. Actually, it was Randy Flagg, Randy Flagg's channel. He kind of did a rant about it, about Spider-Man not coming into the theaters, and then I kind of looked it up, and he was right. So yeah, we're not getting it.
Oh man, I've been avoiding spoilers so much because I've been looking forward to it, and so I guess I'll probably end up just downloading the torrent now.
Yeah, and the thing that's messed up is like, that if you watch like other channels, that review movies and things like that, they spoil it right away. The spoilers are in the thumbnails now, so they'll put like, the final scene in the thumbnail, and you're like, no. They did that with what was that? Was the Mandalorian? Remember that series that came out last year? And they had the big payoff was Luke Skywalker showing up at the finale, and of course the day after, all of these channels are putting Luke Skywalker in the thumbnails. I'm like, no.
No, we actually had a unit in my grade 7 where we watched The Mandalorian. We watched all the first season, and we identified a lot of the themes of family and self-purpose as a trope. And then I had them design their own episode of The Mandalorian. So that was kind of a fun unit to do. But I've been trying to avoid a lot of these spoilers. When I was a kid, I think I've told you this story before. The worst spoiler of my life. My mom took me to see Empire Strikes Back when I was a kid, and we're waiting in line, and some kids are walking out of the theaters. We're walking in, and someone's like, "Wow, I can't believe Darth Vader was Luke Skywalker's father," and I'm just like, I'm just start crying. I'm like, Mom, why? I'm just
that
like
big
tears, red face, and.
But yeah, man. And talking about Shang-Chi, I ranted about that in all of my classes the last month or so. And because all the students kind of, they were told that it was propaganda and that it wasn't a good movie and everything. I was like, well, you don't even know about the movie. What do you know about the movie? So they just believe what they heard. And of course, even before the movie, they were complaining about the actor being ugly. Because I'm like, I'm pressing them. What is the problem with the movie? It's what. And the first thing they say, oh, he's ugly. He's a stereotype, right? So after the movie came out, and of course I had to download it to watch it, and I was trying to figure out what would the problem that they have be with this movie, and I didn't find anything. As a matter of fact, I thought it was very respectful to some of the legendary Chinese mythology and things like that. So I couldn't find anything. So after I saw it, I went to all of my classes, here at the university.
Yeah. And
I told them what I thought, and and when they started, oh, the actors are ugly. My break, the way I broke it down was I had a side-by-side picture of the actor who plays Shang-Chi. And I said, in my opinion, if you really look closely, this Shang-Chi looks like a young Xi Jinping to me. And they kind of laughed. And then I put the pictures side by side. The hair, right? If you put Xi Jinping into like one of those face apps where they make you look younger, he would look like Shang-Chi. And they kind of agreed with me, right? But it's just we just agreed that it's a different standard. They said, oh well, they're attractive to you because you look at them from Western standard, but they're not attractive by Chinese standards. So that's how we came up.
Well, what I heard was the reason they canceled that was it was like literally a 2-second scene with the bus driver had a number on his shoulder. That was why they canceled it.
I hadn't heard that one, but I did hear a good one from another student who said, and she watched it after I recommended it.
Yeah.
And she said that She thought it could have been a problem because it showed Chinese American immigrants in a good way, having a good life, and it might encourage Chinese people to, to immigrate to America to have this great life too, So that one sounded pretty viable to me,
It could be. But the big one I heard was the bus driver had a number on his shoulder, which was unfavorable.
I'm going to look at that again.
Yeah. So that's what I've heard. But in any case, that is what it is. I enjoyed the movie.
Enjoyed it though, right? You thought it was a good movie?
I thought it was great. Yeah. I enjoyed the humor. I enjoyed the action. I mean, what's not to love about a kung fu fight on a bus?
I know, right? It's perfect.
They had the over the top, dude with the knife arm, I mean, that's right out of
James Bond.
Bruce Lee and Game of Death.
Right.
So gotta love it. So going back to the original kung fu tropes there,
Yeah.
But it was good. So so if Spider-Man is not coming, I guess I'll just avoid the spoilers until I can download the torrent.
It's going to be hard. It's definitely going to be hard. And for
I
heard that they weren't going to, release the new Matrix either. But I heard they kind of changed that around. So it looks like we're going to get the Matrix.
Yeah, that's the with Keanu, kind of a reboot, and he lived like John Wick in the Matrix, basically. So speaking of John says, I thought Shang-Chi was good. I didn't see any problems. Well, there we go.
Yeah, John. Yeah.
So it's one of those things. But I'm interested in the Matrix, but I also noticed that they finally updated the names because I guess the directors they went through like a transformation, I guess you can call it. And so now the Warshawski brothers are now the Warshawski sisters.
Oh, yeah. The sisters.
Yeah. So, everyone's got their own journey, right? So, I don't know. I used to hear a lot of flack when I was a kid about that. And I always thought, well, if somebody else is doing that, how does that affect me? It doesn't. Right. So, a lot of people get too upset about too many things. So, Lucy says, I'm looking forward to Matrix. There we go.
Mm-hmm.
When's that coming out anyway?
It should be soon, but no Lawrence Fishburne, though. Morpheus is in the character is Morpheus, but Lawrence Fishburne isn't playing Morpheus this time.
So they kind of did what they did with the Oracle lady, basically?
Yeah, that's what it sounds like. Exactly.
Although I heard the original Oracle lady, she had passed away, and that's why they changed the actress.
That's right.
So, but in this case, Lawrence Fishburne, I guess he's just probably a little too old and probably a little too chubby.
Well, this Morpheus is definitely a younger Morpheus. So, I have no idea what the story is going to be. They're doing some funny timeline kind of things.
Yeah.
But it should be interesting.
Yeah, they're bringing, Carrie-Anne Moss back as well.
Mm-hmm.
So that should be fun.
Yep.
So speaking of fun,
no Spider-Man though. That's still.
Yeah, I'm kind of bummed about that now.
And my Chinese students, they were looking forward to it too. So I mean, it's not fair to anyone. It's really not.
Well, I mean, like anything else, I mean, I suppose we could still be surprised. There was a number of movies. They said they were not going to release Thor 3 here, and they ended up doing it, but a month later. So we could always be surprised on this sort of thing. So Lucy says it's coming out December 21st as far as Matrix.
Okay.
So that's just what Tuesday, right?
Next week?
Yeah. Yeah, today is the 19th, so that's Tuesday. So, yay. But you never know when they're actually going to release these things in China. Sometimes they release the same day, and sometimes they release on down the line. So, speaking of coming down the line, what new videos you got on the pipe coming out?
I'm just finishing editing my YouTube Rewind. Jamaica
Really?
YouTube Rewind. So it's like, recapping the past year of my YouTube videos.
Okay, that should be fun.
Yeah, it's monstrous. It's 10 minutes of some of the best stuff that I did this year,
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah.
So Lucy was asking, what's the reason for Spider-Man not coming out here? Do we know?
Politics.
Yeah, it's always politics. There's been a lot of politics going on. That's probably why the Being actually got canceled recently. I guess they're on a 30-day suspension or something. But yeah, you just never know. So we may find out, we may not. It's one of those things. So
by the way, before I forget, I don't want to leave the stream without wishing you and your audience, all 10 people who are watching right now, Merry Christmas, Happy Holidays, whatever you celebrate. The joyous season here, right?
Happy Holidays, Happy Christmas, Merry Kwanzaa, Happy Hanukkah. Yep. Did I miss any of them? I'm sure there's more out there.
Probably. Festivus.
Yeah. Festivus, yes. Festivus for the rest of us. George Costanza. So, gotta love it. So, that was Costanza's dad.
Again, man. It's good. How is your channel held up with your absence, man? I mean, obviously you probably don't really care too much if your channel took a hit or anything, because you were dealing with more important things. But
surprisingly,
how has the absence affected your channel?
It just kind of plateaued out. It didn't really go down, which is good. Dealing with everything else, but I'm trying to get back on the pony now. I'm actually in the process of editing a Christmas in Hong Kong video, so which should be kind of fun. Hello, would you like to come join us? So Skittles just woke up. He had some wet food, and so he was sleeping it off. So, so hi. He just decided to come and join. He has this idea that he can just jump on me anytime he wants. That's my neck. That's my neck. So, are you a cat guy?
I was a cat guy, and it's so funny because you watch one pet video and then the algorithm thinks, oh, you'll love it. So right now, my whole feed, my whole stream is these pet videos, and I'm watching this dog named Bailey,
Yeah.
And the dog has his own channel, so. And I like this dog, and it shows, the dog making friends with cats and,
Yeah.
new kittens and all that stuff. So, and the channel is huge too. It's like the channel's got like 1 million subscribers, for this dog.
Oh, wow. That's a lot of dog lovers out there.
Yeah, he's almost up there with Serpent Zede.
There you go. So the dog also may think there's no birds in China. You never know. So, well, hey, I think we've probably been on this long enough. I'm gonna wrap this up, man. But we need to get together on WeChat and see if we can get some voice bites and finish up that Starbucks video of mine.
All right, cool, man. And I apologize for the delay. It's just been very busy,
I know. We've all. It's the season.
That's right.
Well, hey guys, like anybody else, I appreciate you guys joining us. Always carry a can of sardines. You never know when you may come in handy. And guys, we'll catch you guys in the next video. Make sure to go visit Gene and his channel too.
I appreciate it. Thank you.
All right. Take it
care,
easy, guys.
everybody.
Have a good evening.
Good night.
And we are done.